want to welcome to Hopeful Tribe my friend and a wonderful nurse, Ashley Fisher.
Hi.
Yay, she's here. And Esmeralda's going crazy. What inspired you to become a nurse?
I knew for a really long time that helping people was my path. I didn't know what it was supposed to look like for a while. And then my mom got really sick and almost died. And I had to take care of her. And it just it's like everything clicked. I was like, this feels right. And so I wanted to help other people.
In your current nursing role, have you ever gotten burned out?
Yeah. I
And
have.
how do you think that happened? What do you think caused your burnout?
For me, I feel like definitely trauma in the work environment and not feeling supported afterwards. And honestly, not having healthy coping mechanisms. Because one of my primary coping mechanisms is working. So
Yeah.
I'm dealing with trauma from this place. And instead of like pulling back and trying to, take care of myself, I just poured myself further into this place until it was just affecting everything.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm. And when you say it affected everything, you want to talk about what that looked like?
It was, it was affecting my diet, for instance, because I'm a stress eater. So I was constantly eating all the good things. It was affecting my sleep. It was affecting my time with my family because I was always there. It was affecting healthier self-care routines because I just was too tired to do any good thing for myself. It was affecting my mood. I found myself definitely shorter in patience than I am, which doesn't take much. I found myself a lot snappier with everybody, and it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good to have more days that I couldn't find my sunshine than days that I could. And that's just something that feels really heavy for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Because you have so much sunshine that it's just like kind of frightening to think about a time when you wouldn't have any, you know?
Yeah.
Um, how do you think it affected the quality of care you were able to give?
I
Or did
feel
it?
like I wasn't able to. I feel like mechanically my care was great, but emotionally I was so withdrawn. So I wasn't in a mind space to take on other people's issues. So it made me a less compassionate nurse, which is generally a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, but also really common with burnout. We just get so emotionally detached.
Right.
Um, yeah, it's really sad. Did you feel like you were less connected emotionally in your personal life as well?
I don't think so. Um, I don't have a lot of uh interpersonal connections anyway, and for me that's self-protective. But the people that I love are generally how I find my way back to my light when I can't find it. My kids are everything to me. Me and my mom sometimes are on opposite ends of things, but she's everything to me. my grandmother, my small group of family, um, always is my rock. And when I can't find my sunshine, something they do, something they say when they notice it, or sometimes just showing up to let me just cry in a hug, um, always brings me back. But I didn't
Mm,
have that connection, with my clients because, you know,
yeah,
you can't really.
can't do that. Um, so I asked you about your personal life. Oh, did you get any help from your employer?
No, no,
We
not at
laugh
all.
because it's absurd. Um, yeah. So, did you ever ask for help?
Um, Maybe not as directly as I could have. Um, I feel like after the initial trauma that kind of started the downward spiral, there were several kind of bullshit meetings after that were supposed to help us deal, and that didn't happen at all. Um, I sought out a psychiatrist on my own, and my experience with that through my health plan wasn't the greatest,
Mm,
but I'm rolling with it the best that I can. But my employer had nothing in place for their employees, which I kind of think is really interesting because it's a mental health facility.
right.
You would think that in a place where you want people to care and take care of the mental health of people with such severe traumas and issues, you would want to take care of those people because without those people, you can't reach your audience.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Um, I actually remember some of those meetings after a big incident, and I feel like if you personally didn't ask for help, the team definitely asked for help, right?
yeah.
In some really concrete ways. Um, so I think there was an ask from the team, but I guess there wasn't a lot of response, is what I'm hearing. No. How about now? Is it any different now?
I took some steps on my own, and I set some boundaries. So, my goal was to work less. Um, Now I still pull a lot of hours because that's a hard habit for me to break. It's just all I've known pretty much all of my adult life, but it does feel better in a lot of ways. Um, Once I got out of having to do the role of two nursing positions at the same time, I immediately felt a sense of relief.
Mm,
Um, and just feeling more supported and feeling like the team that I have is more solid, and so I don't feel stressed out and overwhelmed and like I'm losing my mind all the time.
mm-hmm.
Feels a lot better, and
Mm.
it allows me to be able to connect with people a lot better and actually have, care, concern, and compassion for people.
So, what coping skills have you developed? Since you stayed, I just assume you must have figured out a way besides pulling back a little bit on the work hours. What else helps you?
Meditation and music.
Mm.
I listen to kind of like I don't really know what the genre is, but it's very kind of uplifting for me. So on my way home, because I don't live close to my workplace, I let my long commute just be the space where I just kind of leave everything along the way. And
Mhm.
so it just feels better.
That's good.
Also, randomly, I hug trees when I'm having bad days at work. Like, literally,
Trees
hug
are
trees.
always happy to help, right?
Trees are the best.
They'll just stand there and let you hug them and listen, like,
It's true.
yeah, awesome. Uh, so, if you were to talk to a group of nursing students today about how to prevent burnout, what would you say to them?
My first thing would be to tell them self care. Take care of yourself first, and whatever that has to look like. Um, because we will give our all to these jobs and they will suck you dry if you let them. So, whatever it looks like to you to take care of yourself first, do that because you cannot pour from an empty cup. And I know that's a thing we hear all the time, but it's like really true. And nurses tend to be just natural caregivers, right? So, you get in a
Mhm.
place where you want to take care of this person, you want to take care of that person, you want to be available to your employer, and you're pouring, 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 pouring. But if you never fill up your own cup, your cup will run out. And
Mhm.
if you allow that to happen, you will feel burnt out and you will feel unfulfilled. And so you have to do what you have to do to take care of yourself. That doesn't involve taking care of someone else at work, at home, something just for you that helps you to feel grounded and recharged and healthy mentally, spiritually, physically.
Mhm. Mhm. How do you make time for that though with like crazy workload and kids at home and other, things you need to do like laundry, right? Like how do you fit that in?
I don't do the laundry.
I love it. She just lets the laundry go. Yeah.
Um, but seriously, I have to make time for me. If I have to, run away for some hours, for a day, for a weekend, I will send my little son to his dad's. My older son is uh, I don't like the word adult, but he is technically that. He drives now, he makes his own money. So I can be like, I will be back at whenever I feel like I need to come back. Because that's something I learned that sometimes I just need to do.
Mhm.
Sometimes I just need to sit in silence. Sometimes I just need to be by the water. Sometimes, you know, I just need to sleep. And I don't allow myself to feel bad on days where I just can't do anything
Mm.
because clearly that's what my body is telling me it needs. And
Yeah.
so between work, school, kids, and all the things, when I need time to just me, for just me, I make sure that I take it and I just figure that out.
Mm. What would be your ideal work situation in the future?
I want to work for myself. Um, I'm in school right now to further my nursing degree so that I can open a holistic wellness center. That feels better to me. My mom calls it hippie medicine. And she was like,
I'm a
somehow,
big fan of the hippie medicine.
yes. She said, somehow this, she said, it feels so much like you.
Yeah,
And, I want to be able to teach people how to take care of themselves that doesn't necessarily involve, medication unless that's completely necessary.
exactly. Oh, I love that. When you're self-employed, how will you make sure that you continue to take care of yourself?
Taking care of myself is always the number one thing on my list for everything. Um, because everything that I do involves giving of my time, my heart, my love, my
Mm-hmm.
energy, and I have to preserve my energy. So it will be in my work plan and my business plan. In the morning, we're going to start our day with the meditation and grounding. We're, going to make sure that we feel good because you can't help someone else, feel good if you're not in that space.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sounds like a good plan. What kind of changes do you think would be helpful at your healthcare facility that you're working at now? Like, what do you think would make it easier for people to work without getting burnt out?
Um, Number one is like competent staffing so
Mm,
that it's not, a bare bones staff and everyone is stressed all the time. Number two, I'm in the middle of a thing. Number two is support from upper management.
mm,
Um, Upper management, they sit in offices and make decisions that affect people doing the day-to-day work, and they are so out of touch with
mm-hmm,
what's really going on. And um it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't.
mm-mm. It really doesn't. I recently was part of a retreat for another organization, and they were telling me they get wellness bonuses so
Nice.
that they can use that, whatever amount of money it is every month for acupuncture or massages or therapy, whatever they want to use it for. Do you think something like that could be helpful?
Oh, that sounds glorious. I would love that. I
Yeah.
also think that at our place, an EAP would be great.
Yeah, right?
Um, some kind, or at least at the very least, some kind of access to mental or emotional support.
Thank you so much for talking so frankly about all this stuff because it's not easy. It's sometimes it's worse when you actually talk about it, because then
Yeah,
you think about the stuff that you've been
right,
going through, you know?
right.
Oh my goodness. But here, I think is the most important question we always ask at our interviews. It's what gives you hope?
What gives me hope is knowing that this is not it for me. So knowing that I have, number one, I have options. Number two, I'm not gonna die here. Like, it doesn't feel like an endless thing where this is where it ends for me. So I know that there are other things that I am going to do that I'm already working on doing that allows me to kind of separate a little bit and be like, this is great for me for right now, because it gives me the kind of time that I need to, get homework done and these kind of things. Um, but also there's something better for me coming, it's on its way. So knowing that I'm on my way up to actually, figuring out my dreams and everything else is what will always give me hope, is that there's always, today doesn't have to be all sunshine, because sunshine will come back.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your experiences with burnout. I
My
have
pleasure.
no doubts that you're going to get to your dreams.
Thank you.
So fun. It is a thing, like you probably know have had this happen before. I've had people feel really threatened by how happy I am. And it's
Yeah.
like, gosh, no offense or anything.
Right? Like, I'm sorry I chose joy today. I'll try misery tomorrow if that'll make you feel better.
Right? I think
Not
that's one
really,
of the
but
things I love most about Debbie is like she's like similarly joyful.
I
And
love that.
so we just laugh all the time and joke around. It's just really fun. And yeah, it's just hard to find people who are capable of that level of joy
Right.
on a day-to-day basis.
It takes work.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. and and sometimes I'll even miss like being in that little box with you because we had a lot of fun in there.
So much fun in the box. Do you know they got rid of the second desk?
Oh, did they? They're like, no, this is
Hmm.
only for nurses.
So it's just the new nurse up there, and then the two clinicians work in the milieu or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.